My first season doing it, I had one athlete, and I looked after him for half a season, and then he got caught up in his school rowing, which then meant I actually didn't have any athletes at all. So.
Yeah, he's cool, calm and collected. He's a bit quiet, he doesn't say too much.
So my name's Flannagan. I am the director of rowing at St Peter's Girls, which I have been for 3 seasons. And I'm also the LTA state coach. So LTA is basically legs, trunks and arms for adaptive rowing. The LTA state coach position came up again, and I applied for it and I got it, but I didn't have any athletes. So what happened was I thought, well, South Australia haven't had any adaptive rowers for a long time, and I thought, well, it's about time we changed that. So so what I did was I basically advertised to some different organisations and said that I was going to do a come and try. And I got various people come out with impairments like amputees and visually impaired and cerebral palsy and that sort of thing. And and so we did a come and try, and they all loved it. And basically all of those guys that I did the come and try with, they're all still rowing with me now, and I've picked up a couple of other people along the way. And we sort of now settled into the Torrens program, and now that they're settled in, I want to look at trying to get in some more athletes. So that's sort of it in a bit of a sort of a basic nutshell. Almost all of them now are also rowing with able-bodied athletes as well. So that's working really well. Jed and Andrew, who are both, and Shauna, who are all leg amputees. Obviously, rowing is very much a leg sport, so they don't get the same amount of power that they would get from an able-bodied athlete. But in terms of movement and technical ability and that sort of thing, everything is pretty much the same. So yeah.
Well, my name's Shauna Lee. I tried it out about 3 years ago, and I had never done rowing in my life, but it wasn't the right place and right time, so I never got back to it. And I had always wanted to get back to rowing because it's always been in the back of my mind. It's amazing. You drive in the dark, you rock up in the dark, and the training's super early in the morning, and it's so beautiful and peaceful, and the sunset coming up in the morning makes it really well worth it. And yeah, you're surrounded by like-minded people, and we're doing something we really like. So I wouldn't imagine ever leaving it right now.
I didn't have any boats. I didn't have any sort of we didn't have a club or anything like that. So I was basically just borrowing equipment from from Sassy, from Unley, and just, we didn't really have a home. We just sort of rock up, and I just grabbed bits and pieces from different people just to get people out in the water. And then it wasn't until we sort of started looking around that that Torrens sort of put their hand up and sort of said, look, we'll take you guys on, and from that point of view, it's been awesome. We've got a home now, and we've got equipment to use, and it's just sort of, I suppose it's given us a bit of an identity now. Before it was, we were just outside meeting on the grass or meeting in the ergo room. So I think from that aspect, it's good. And Torrens have got a really nice shed on the Torrens River, and they've got a really nice function area and that sort of stuff. So it's actually they do a lot of functions where the para athletes can sort of come along and meet all the other people. So from that aspect too, it's really good socially as well, which I think is one of the things that I've tried to, and I want to make, is that the para program isn't something that it's separate, it's a separate thing in the club. Like it's all inclusive. So that's sort of something that I think is working really well. So there are a few guys that I think will actually do very, very well. The guy that I had in the first season that sort of ended up focusing a lot on school, which is fair enough. He's a very, very talented athlete, and I think he could do very, very well. I think he could go a long way. Like going on to represent Australia, and then I think also probably Jed could do the same as well. He's a lower limb amputee. And then, there's a couple of other guys who I think if they put their mind to it could probably do well, but it's just whether or not you've got the time and the dedication to sort of put in the amount of work that you need to do to sort of reach that level. But in saying that, I think we'll get quite a few guys that will do very well at state level. So it's looking really good. I think it's looking really positive, and I think for those guys that want to reach an elite level, I think we'll have some fair athletes, and then obviously it's open to people that just want to participate and just keep fit and that sort of thing as well. And my plan is basically to go and send the flyer out to all the different places, like the people that make prosthetics, the rehab places, the different places like they're not called Wheelchair SA anymore, but those sort of places that have access to people with impairments, and then just sending the flyer out and getting it out there. And then once we get some more people interested, then what I'll do is I'll work out with Elric and we'll do another come and try session, and we'll get them all down and get them on ergos and then get them out in boats and that sort of thing. So there is that plan to expand and get more athletes. I sort of look at like a place like Balmain Rowing Club in New South Wales, who have about 40 para athletes in, and sort of, I'd love to sort of get to around that sort of mark. So got a bit of work to do, but it's something to sort of try and achieve. So I think it's going along pretty well.